Hello everybody, happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I am so happy that you could join me tonight. I'm going to change things up just a little bit. We're going to be making a Christmas ornament, which I thought was so cool. I got this idea when I went to Indianapolis last November. It's been a while. But I got this idea and it took me quite a while to figure it out, but it's not too tough. You're going to be able to do it, I promise. Let me show you. Let me show you what it is. Isn't that the cutest stinking thing ever? It's so fun. And the best part is you can open it up and put stuff in it if you want to. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we are going to get crafting. There's no stamping tonight. Not one stamp. It's all just paper folding. So let's get cracking and I'm going to show you what's going on. All right. So bear with me just a second because I'm going to move my camera up a little higher, which means I got to adjust a couple of different things. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I wanted to move it up a little higher so that I don't like make you sick when I'm doing my thing here. So, all right. I think I'm ready. Okay. So here is a closer look. Let me bring that back just a smidge. There we go. Here's a closer look of what we're making tonight. Is that not the coolest little... It's so fun. I love it. So, I'm using some DSP that I don't think is available anymore. It's Shining Christmas Designer Series paper. It was an online exclusive. It was a short-lived little thing, but I loved the colors. The colors are Cherry Cobbler and Mossy Meadow, and I think those are just super fun colors. So not a lot of pieces involved in this. We've got one piece of 6 1/4 by 10 1/2 cardstock. And then if you go all the way down, 17 little 1-inch squares of Designer Series paper, which are super simple to cut, really. I mean, we're just cutting squares, 1-inch squares, okay? Not too tough. So here is what we're going to do. I'm going to use my paper trimmer, scorer trimmer. You can absolutely use a scoring board if you'd like, not whichever you'd like, okay? So if you didn't notice, watch me just there, I take out my cutting blade because you know and I know I'm going to cut this paper if my cutting blade is in there. That's just how I roll. So I've got down all the score marks we're going to make. We're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 score marks on the long side. So we're going to start, let's get that moved aside so I can actually see it. First one is going to be 1 1/4, like that. So then 2 1/2. So basically we're making a score mark every 1 1/4 inches. Let's pull our arm out too because we're going to need that. 2 1/2, 3 3/4, 5, 6 1/4, 7 1/2. See, I do use my arm. You don't see it often, but I do it. 7 1/2, 8 3/4, and then one more at 10. Right at 10 inches. That's going to leave us this little 1/2 inch piece. So that's our first set of score marks. Then we're going to rotate it, and we're going to score on the short side at 1 1/4 again. 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and at 5. Okay, so we can put this away. We're actually done with that now. So you totally could use just your paper scoring tool. I just prefer to use my trimmer. So I kind of go through and I fold it a little bit, but not a lot. I'm not going to do a super, like, burnishing them or anything like that. I just like to give it, I feel like that helps me to visualize a little bit more. Okay, so now we need to make the lines for these little folder inner things. That's what I'm going to call them. That's my official term for this. And I will put this, this is my cheat sheet that I use. Sorry for my oops there. I'm going to put this in the comments of the Facebook post. I will figure out a way to get it in the comments or something of, so if you're watching this on YouTube, look around on my post there, because I'm going to find a way to post that in there somehow. Otherwise, I might just link you back to my Facebook page so you can see that. But what we're going to do is each one of these dashed lines is a score mark. So we just made all of the square ones. Now we're going to make these little triangles. It's not as hard as what it looks. I'm going to use one more tool, and that's my Take Your Pick tool. When you get your Take Your Pick tool, when you buy it brand new, there's a stylus in there. And I don't use my stylus a whole lot, but I'm going to use it tonight. So I'm going to take out my little end that's got my poker and my little putty knife thing. I'm going to take that out, set it aside. And I'm going to use the small end, the small stylus end. There's a larger one and a smaller one. I'm going to use that smaller one. So the larger one goes inside my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to bring in a ruler. And then on the second line down, I am going to measure 5/8 of an inch. And let's see here. I'm going to turn it this way just so I'm following my pattern here. I'm going to leave this box open. So this is the box I'm going to use. So I'm going to go through each one of these and just make a dot at 5/8 of an inch. Okay? So every other one. So I've made a dot there. I'm going to skip this one, make a dot here at 5/8 of an inch. Make a dot here at 5/8 of an inch. And then one more on the end, 5/8 of an inch. So now what I'm going to do is line up my ruler. You're going to need a sturdy ruler. I'm going to line up my ruler so that the corner, I'm going to this corner right here where my other score line is, and my dot that I just made, and I'm going to score. So you're going to want to put it on your Stamp and Pierce mat or some kind of piece of foam. Heavy, like a sturdier foam. Okay, so I'm going to go through and do all of the one side because I don't like flipping my ruler around. That's my own little lazy way there. Okay, so I'll flip my ruler around to do the same thing on the opposite side. So I'm drawing down to the corner of that box and then up to my 5/8 dot. I'm trying not to put my head in the camera here, so I apologize if I do. And the last one. There we go. So now I'm going to flip my paper the other direction, and I'm going to make sure that I'm doing the exact opposite one that we made the triangles on down here. Okay, so I'm going to do those right here. So we're going to do the same thing. 5/8 of an inch, make a dot. 5/8 of an inch, right on the edge there, make a dot. 5/8 of an inch, make a dot. 5/8 of an inch, make a dot. So that's half of my 1 1/4. And if you really want to know, this is for my friends. This is 2 lines past the half. Okay? I'm not judging because math is a bugger. So we're going to do the same thing from our dot to the corner of the box of the square on each one that we put our 5/8 inch dot in. One more. I'm stuck. Some reason my ruler was caught. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite sides. These would make terrific gift boxes, like super fancy ones. If you need somehow to wrap a fancy gift, this is it. I love it. I think it's so fun. And I will show you how you can either, if you use it as a gift box, we can put some kind of faux sealing thing on there so that it stays shut. But really and truly, the ribbon tends to keep it shut really nice. Okay, so now I've got all my triangles. I don't know if you can see that very well. Going to bring in my snips, and I'm going to cut each one of these on each one of these lines just up to the first line. Let's get rid of that. And it's nice to have a picture like this here, just so you can visualize what you're doing. Make sure you're cutting the right ones and cutting the right spots. But once you make one, you're like, oh, that was easy. And so you can make another and you can make more. And the more you make, the easier they get. Just like anything else, right? So we're going to flip it around and do the same thing every 1 1/4 inch on our score line. So I'm just cutting on those score lines right up to the first score line on the short side, on each side. And then we'll go through and cut some of them out. I feel like I should have some Christmas music going in the background. Have you guys started to listen to Christmas music yet? I've found myself singing songs, but I'm that person. We really enjoy Christmas music at my house. My husband especially. Okay, so now we're going to go through and cut out these little, cut those off. And I miter that just a little bit. So I've got a, it's not perfectly square. I go in just a little bit so it doesn't, so it glues nicer, basically, so it's a little cleaner. Okay, so when I look at my piece here, I'm going to fold that one under, and I'm going to cut off that square. Okay, so then I'll fold that under and cut off the next one. So basically what we're doing is we're removing the squares that are right on top of our triangles. Okay, so those are left there. So fold that under, cut there, fold that under, and cut that one off. Okay, do the opposite. So we'll fold that one under. So that's what I've got left over there. Fold that first one under, cut that off, and just keep going. I cut the wrong one. That's okay. It's okay, because guess what? This isn't the one I'm making. We're going to cut this off. Okay. So we're going to pretend I did this right. See, gosh darn it, I get in my little groove. I did it exactly opposite of what I was supposed to do. Don't worry, I got another one. So we've got our 1 inch pieces. I'm going to fold. Let's see here. My goodness. It's the camera. I'm telling you, it makes me nervous. Okay, so that side's right. This side is wrong. Yep, this side is wrong. We're going to hide that side, okay? I'm going to go through and I'm going to take my 1 inch pieces of designer series paper, and I'm going to attach those down. Every spot that doesn't have a V imprinted into it, okay? And it's going to look like this, magically. Ta-da! Through the magic of TV, right? Okay, so now we're ready to fold it. I just didn't want to make you watch me glue those down. So we're going to kind of burnish these just a little bit. Give them just a little bit of a rough start. So fold up on all of those little V's. Do the same on the other side. Okay, and then we will fold that one really nice and tight. This little flap here, we're going to fold that down. I'm going to pull in some heavy duty. I like the Seal Plus because I do not want this popping open. Okay, that's just how I roll. If you want to use glue, that's cool. Just make sure that you hold it down so it grabs and adheres really well. So we're just going to fold that down, and then we can fold it in half and make sure that that's tucked down, and that's how we're going to seal it. So now we've got like a tubey kind of thing here going on, okay? So if we start and we push, and we can start to fold that in a little bit, and you can start to see the shape of our box. Our orb. Oh. Telling you. You guys are making me nervous. Okay, there we go. So that's how it'll look on the bottom. Not too tough, right? So I'm going to take some tape and we're going to put some on 3 of the flaps, not number 4. If you want to use glue, glue is another good option. Just make sure you're using a really pretty aggressive adhesive so that it doesn't pop open. So like I said, we're going to do 3 of the flaps. We're going to leave this flap is going to be the one that's on the outside. Okay. So start with any of the other 3. Let's pull this one out and just make sure you attach it corner to corner. Like that. Kind of make it tight there. This is my next glued one. So we're going to attach it corner to corner, right? So we're just making squares. We're making squares, right? You can reach inside there. Whoopsie-doo. There we go. That's number 2. And then the third one is just going to go over like that and attach to make a square. So now you can press down inside of there. Isn't that cool? That's a significant amount of space in there. There's a lot of chocolate that could go inside of that baby. I just love it. Okay, so now when I get this done, there we go. There's our orb. Ah, so cool. But I want to be able to hang it, right? So I've got just a basic, this is from an office supply store. It is, I believe it's a 1/8 inch hole, and I'm totally going to eyeball it. So if you want to find the exact center and make exact center, it's all good. That one is not the exact center. I might hide that one. There we go. That was a good one. There we go. All right. So a few different choices of current products you can use. Otherwise, go into your stash and find something. The baker's twine will work. Let's just double check to make sure. But that's a nice, it's a thinner, a little bit thinner piece of thread, but that would work. See, that would, it's barely catching. You might need to make a double knot down there. Or you can use the in color thread. This one is this is the Pebble Path, but they come in a pack of 5. This is a nice thick one. This is what I've got on this particular bulb. I've done it with some ribbon on this bulb here. I've used some 1/4 inch ribbon. I'm going this time to use, this is an online exclusive. It is 1/8 inch trim. It comes in gold. You get 2 spools, gold and silver. So what I'm going to do is just fold that over as long as I think I want my loop to be, and just make a simple knot. Simple, right? All right, so just tighten it up and then trim it off. Okay, so put that through the orb that you want, or the piece that you want on your bottom. And it stops right there. And so now you can just keep pushing them in together, working your way around. If you need to use take your pick tool to shove that through, go for it. Use your tools. That is good. So the third little flap. And then flap number 4, it's going to seal it all up. And if you wanted to add some glue dots to make sure that it stays secure, that is perfectly okay. It just might rip your thing open just a little bit whenever you open it, but it does stay pretty nice like that. So, whoops, don't push on it. So there you go. That is our holiday orb. Isn't that cute? And you can go more elaborate. You can change the designs of the paper and alternate them, or whatever you want to do. I just think it's so stinking cute. So, like I said, I'm going to post a picture of this template in my Facebook page. But here's the papers that you will need. And then this is what it looks like. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, knock yourself out. Otherwise, I'm going to flip the camera around. You guys were slanted a little bit. All right. So in Minnesota, this weekend is deer hunting. If you are deer hunting or somebody you love is deer hunting, best of luck to you. I wish you all the best. My boys will be deer hunting, so I will keep you posted if they get anything. Otherwise, I will see you back here next Friday night. If you're local to the Gray Eagle area, sorry, you just went crooked. If you're local to the Gray Eagle, Minnesota area, on the 11th of this month, so next weekend, I will be hosting a stamp camp in Bertram. It's the first time ever that we're having it in Bertram at the Bertram Community Center. So I would love, 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 love to see you there. If you can make it, we're going to tighten this up. Yeah, so I'd love to see you there. LeVar, this is what we made. Isn't it stinking cute? I'm so happy. I love it. I cannot wait to give these away. So here's another version of one. So a nice little Christmas orb. I will see you guys next Friday night, or if maybe next Saturday morning. I would love to see you there, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.